Hey everybody, it's Rollie, and if you're catching the replay, hashtag replay, let me know that you are catching the replay. Hey everybody, oh, hang on a second, my volume is on in here.
Hashtag replay, let me know that you are catching the replay.
Oh, hang on a second, my volume is on. So I decided that I was going to actually put it on my phone so that I can actually see, because I can't see comments while I'm at home. And of course the volume needed to come on because that part wasn't. Oh. And now I can't get this to line up. There we go. So, tech problems. So welcome everybody. So super excited to be sharing this this news. And I see a couple of eyeballs, so let me know that you're on. And but I'm super excited to be sharing this. It has been something that has been in the works for a while, and now things are coming together nicely. And so today is a special offer that I'm making on the new program. So we have, oh, where'd it go? So I'm going to share my screen. So there you go. So you guys can see my screen. So I'm going to try it. Shift over a little bit. Okay, so because when, hey Sam, so when I switch over, then I'm going to, when I actually go to show the different pages on the screen, I'm not going to be able to see what you guys see. So, which is one of the reasons why I put the computer. So what I wanted to be able to show you guys is all about the Soulful Life Hacks. So as you know, this has been something that I have been working on. If you guys are on my email list, you guys have received a couple of emails. And if you guys have been on some of the lives, I've actually talked about this a little bit. And so what I wanted to do is take you through the program and the pages and talk about some of the things that are actually going on with this program. So the special invite, so first of all, the Soulful Life Hacks is everything with each category or each part of Soulful Life Hacks is connected to a flower. Or not necessarily to a flower, but to nature somehow. So in this particular case, the logo for Soulful Life Hacks is about a daisy. So with daisy symbolizing, and it's the yellow part of the daisy. So so everything that you see with the yellow, that is part of the daisy, and it has to do with all the different pieces, parts, and I just wanted us to be able to, with this program, be able to connect with all the different things. So on Soulful Life Hacks page, so it's rollieallaire.ca, soulful-life hacks, and you can actually see all of this information on this page. And so there's one part of it on here that's not ready, but I'm still going to show it anyway, just because it's something that I need to still do. And so right now there is a special invitation, and this will only happen with this when the doors open for this one. So the doors open 4 times a year. So every season the doors open, and you actually get to join the program. So if you do not join before June 15th, then it's not opening again until the next season, which is going to be in the fall, because we actually do our opening ceremonies on the day of the first day of the season. So for example, June, first day of summer is on June 20th, and it kind of varies between the first day of the season starts either between the 19th and the 21st, kind of depending on where things kind of fall with the way that the astrological signs and everything connect. So this year, June 20th is the first day of summer. And so that's what it is that we're going to be starting with. And so for this particular opening is that I'm actually offering 50% off on the monthly, on the quarterly, and on the annual. So when this happens in September, that offer will definitely not be there. It will be just our regular offer. But because this is our first opening, official opening, I thought that it would be kind of cool to be able to put that offer out there, but it's definitely not going to be there next. And so the only catch is that you need to register before June 10th. So on June 10th is going to be, hey Tracy, and so on June 10th is going to be when this special offer is over. And so you need to use this code. Can you see my mouse? No, you can't see my mouse. So you need to use this code, which is 2020-0608, which is today's date. And that's the code. But it expires on June 10th. So on that day, it no longer will be valid. And so that's one of the things that are that's happening. And so, but it closes completely. So it goes to the regular price on, from June 10th until June 15th. And then on June 15th, it's closed and there's nobody else that can join, until the next season. So, cause it's only open quarterly. So my mission, so it actually talks about, so here's me at Pete's Dam. So anybody that's local knows that that's Pete's Dam, and my beautiful friend Trey took these pictures, and I love these pictures to pieces. And so I use them often. And so I think this is one of the pictures that Nikki has actually put on my website as part of the regular page. And so I digress. I digress. But anyway, so, but I love Pete's Dam. It's my favorite place to go. And so so the mission with this program is being able to help people that, helping women particularly. We're not going to turn men away. So if a man does join, we're not going to say you can't come, but typically it's women that I work with. And so it's about being able to work through some of those anxieties that we all suffer from, that we all deal with. And some of us have more heightened anxiety than others. And so the whole point of this program is for us to be able to learn how to manage these in our day-to-day lives, how to be able to use life hacks to be able to change the way that we look at things and how we kind of work through the circumstances that we are actually going through. And so that's what the mission of this program is. So you actually get to soulfully master your true power. And so this here is the part that I said there was a part that's not completed yet. And so this part here is going to have a video of an intro and talking about it. I just haven't had a chance to get that part in. So I'm going to talk about what it is that I just finished saying and talking about what it is that we're actually getting from. And so this message actually brought me to tears. So I decided that I was actually going to share it. So Zian says, and she actually sent this out last Friday, so it wasn't even supposed to be on the page. It's just now there. Just because she had a longer message, so I only kind of got a snippet of it. And she said, "You've been encouraging and supporting me from the beginning. And this is just to acknowledge my appreciation from my heart to yours." And I love Zian to death, as I do with all of our other members. And Zian is a lifetime member in this program. So when I put it out to, when I was still kind of planning and figuring out how it was going to go, there were 5 people that took me up on the offer of a lifetime membership. And so there's 5 of them that actually get to be members for life. And so they never have to pay again. So they paid one amount and that's all that they ever have to do. And so Zian is one of those lifetime members. And so I'm very thankful that she's actually there with us. Hey, Sylvia. And so when you actually break it down, the cost of Soulful Life Hacks is $5.90 a day. So like, it's just, obviously you don't pay daily, you pay it monthly, quarterly, or annually, but it's $5.90 a day is all that it actually costs for the entire time. But if you're doing it before June 10th, then it's actually going to be less than that. And so then I actually talked about what some of the questions were, like, what is it that you're looking for? Looking for a place to belong, looking to be grounded, looking to be able to reduce some of the anxiety and the worry, and building with community. And the building with community is a part that's really, really huge for me, because when we can actually connect with others, then we have that ability to be able to not feel like we're alone. And that part is huge. When we can actually feel like we're not alone, really gives us that that connection. And so we do this through the Facebook group, but we also do it through some hot seat coaching, so doing some laser focused coaching on a weekly basis. So like there's a couple of ways of being able to do this. And so we have that community. And so that community part is huge in terms of us being able to kind of move things through. And so here you can actually see that that logo, that image of the flower. So like this is really truly, and you can actually see the sacred geometry inside that flower. So nature is full of sacred geometry. And so like what's really cool is that this particular image really actually defines that sacred geometry and how things have that that connection. And so a space of calm, connection, and love is what the whole purpose of Soulful Life Hacks is. And so so when we actually go through and talk about things, so we were talking about the community and connecting with each other. And so, and I'll actually go through this a little bit more, but like when you actually have that connection of like all these people, so like we've got all these trees technically that are actually joining together, and then, but you can still see the light shining in and providing that light, even though like the trees actually provide shade and darkness, but then you can still see the light shining through all of that. And so like that is our community, that is us joining together. So like it's so I just thought that was really cool. And then the Soulful Life Hacks actually provides like different teachings and healing and ceremony and holding space, but holding space for all parts of ourselves. So like the physical, the emotional, the mental, and the spiritual. Like we have all these different pieces and parts of us that oftentimes get overlooked because we're focusing just on our physical health. We're focusing just on our mental health. We're focusing just on our spiritual health. Whereas this program allows us to be able to tap into all four components of who we are, because there's more to us than just one piece. And so that is, so like that part there is like extremely important. And then, and I loved this picture, right? So you've got all these boulders that come up, and this is on one of our shores here in our area. And so like you can actually see like where all the glaciers came and like where the water has actually touched up and all that kind of thing. And so like this is just like, so this symbolizes, these pictures actually symbolize like how everything is built in stages. And so at one point, until this got pushed over by the ice, is that at one point that dark part was all we could see in the water, was just that upper part, because that's where the dark part was, where it was actually connected to the water for such a long time. And so I just thought that it was like really a cool image to be putting in there. And so then of course I've got some beautiful souls that I have worked with in different capacities at different times. And so I've been able to share some of the things that that they've said. And I'm not really good at capturing those comments that people say. So it was a little bit challenging for me to be able to put them in there, because it happens during a circle. It happens during our conversations. It happens when they post something on something that I have commented on or whatever. But so it was a little, so it's a little bit challenging for me to be able to go back and try and find some, but I was able to find these messages from these beautiful women. And so, and I'm actually going to go through, I'm actually not going to stay on this page very much, because I'm actually going to go through each one of the areas, but like there's lots of pieces, parts to this program. So you're actually going to get a whole lot of different aspects to be able to, aspects to kind of bring things forward. So you've got, so again, so I have to find two other messages, and so I will. Actually just one other message, I guess, because the other ones are already, so these two here are new. And so, no, two are not new. Hang on, I don't remember now. But anyway, I'm going to find some other ones to be able to put in there, because like I know that there are lots of beautiful messages that people have given. And yeah, so there's only one. I only have to find one more to put in that spot. And so again, here's that image. And this is a reminder. So at this point, it's a reminder that it's only open 5 days before. So if the summer solstice, for example, was closing on the 21st, then it would be 5 days before that. In this case, it's closing on the 15th, because summer solstice closes on, or starts on the 20th. And on the 20th is when we actually begin our ceremony. We actually get to all come together virtually and connect. So this whole program is virtual. So even for people that are close by, we're only connecting online. So it doesn't matter where we are in the world. This is where we're actually connecting. So we're actually going to move through the different seasons and working through the seasons. So we've got, like I said, the 4 parts of things. And hey, Lonnie. And so when Lonnie also is one of our lifetime members of this program. And so when we're working through these, the seasons, and we're actually focusing on those 3 months, then we actually get to have, so we're actually going to be focused on certain aspects of ourselves during those times. So it allows us to be able to grow and just kind of that whole evolution. So here we have like the 4 different components. So even though I'm starting and launching this in June, it's going to continue on beyond that. So it's actually going to, because technically you start in the east with the season of March. So that's when spring is starts in March. And so that's when we can actually get to start. It's our new beginnings. And so even though we're starting this in June, it's still part of that. And so one of the things that it actually quotes in here is that these seasons, this season's box is to help you with increasing positivity and abundance to sprout up in your life. And so the reason why it's talking about the box is because that's one of the things that you actually get from this, is that you get the seasonal divinity box from Divine Crystal Healing Shop. And so you actually get that as part of your membership. And so then it talks about like the parts of like, what is this season? It talks about like what we're going to be focusing on during that season. So here in June, we're going to be talking about a lot of that spiritual aspect, that connection, that growth. And so, so it's not just the spiritual aspect. And so in this particular case for 2020, what we're going to be focusing on a lot from June, July, and August is really about being able to identify who we are. So figuring out, focusing on our sun signs. So like if you're born in April, like me, you're an Aries, or potentially a Taurus if you're later in the month. But I'm April 1st, so I'm an Aries. And then we're going to be focusing on what your moon sign is. And so my moon sign is Aquarius. So we're going to be talking and focusing on what do those components of ourselves mean. And then we're going to, so then I have a special guest in each season. And so in August, we're going to be connecting with my friend Pam, who is going to be sharing about the human design. And so we're really going to have a really good aspect. And obviously those are not the only things that we're going to be focusing on, but those components of being able to understand ourselves is going to be helpful for us to be able to know who we are and know how we're actually connected to the world. And so, because there's a lot of things that once I started trying to figure out who I was at a different soul level and who I was at my base, then it really helped me to, hey Teresa, hey Dakota. So it just really is a really good way of being able to see what are some of the aspects and what are some of the parts of ourselves. And because there's so much of that focus of who we are, and when we can't understand who we are, then it makes things a little bit different and difficult for us to be able to move forward. I am definitely a fire sign, so I am very much moving forward and plugging through, and but because my moon sign is Aquarius, is an air sign, and so when one of two things happen is that my fire gets ignited because I'm an Aries sun and a Leo sun rising, and so then when the wind blows, it will either put out my fire or it will expand my fire and help me move forward. And so it's just really interesting how those different components of ourselves really plays an impact on that part of us. So then we go into the fall, and then we go into the summer, or into winter solstice. And so we actually connect to all of those different aspects and all those different points of ourselves. And so there's different themes, and there is a guest speaker that is actually going to share a life hack in each one of those seasons. And so, so I shared about Pam, who is our next guest, or our first guest that's actually going to be joining us. And so then I talk about becoming an expert. And what I mean by that is that you get to be an expert in your own life, and you get to decide what it is that is important to you, and how you're actually going to be able to move forward. So yes, I'm going to be giving some tips, and yes, I'm going to be giving some tricks as to what are some of the things that you're going to be learning. But at the same time, you get to choose and you get to decide as to how that's going to work for you. You know yourself better than everyone else. And so these tips and tricks and these techniques are going to help you learn what some of the things are that you're doing. So you're not alone is one of the biggest messages that I have, is that oftentimes people find that they are doing this on their own, that they are venturing this big, bad world at points in their lives that is only just about them, and there's no one else that's there to be able to help them. And so, so what you get by signing up, and again, I'm going to go through all of these individually, but I'm just going to kind of share the rest of this page just so that you have a look at it. But I'm going to go into each one of the pages that you're actually going to have access to. And so going into the cost of it. So so there's different options. So you can pay $177 a month, or you can pay $447 every 3 months, or you can pay for a full year. And then if you pay for the quarterly, then you actually get a private one-to-one coaching during that 3 months. And if you are going with the annual, then you get the coaching, plus you have full access to the School of Wellness, which has a lot of other access to different things. So you've got these 3 different options, and right now until June 10th, you have access to, so if you sign up for any of these, then what happens is that you will get 50% off of any one of these options. And so you can actually cancel your subscription at any time. And then there's some frequently asked questions that you can sort through and see whether or not any of this stuff works for you. And then you have access to the free membership pages. And one of the things that's in the free membership that we have is that you have access to the wellness inventory. So some of you are already have a free membership, and so those pages, all these things are going to be ready to go by June 20th. And so that's going to be the goal. And then you're going to have the School of Wellness courses, so that you can actually buy the different courses and stuff as you kind of go along. So it's huge. Like, we have lots of really cool things that are actually going on with this program. So here on this page, specifically, it has the again, what it is that I've actually just gone through. And then it actually talks about here again, the kinds of things that you're actually going to have as part of this membership. And so you've got all the different information, and again, the questions, all that kind of stuff. And then we go into the membership pages. So this here is the first membership. So this is where when you sign in and you get started, this is your welcome page, and it actually talks about some of the things that you need to do in order for you to be able to get there. And so once you're actually in, you get all of this access to all these different things. And so because this is ongoing, so it's actually starting in summer solstice. So if you actually wanted to be able to target and focus on summer solstice, and then you're going to be able to like click on just here. And then these other pages aren't going to lead you to anywhere at first, because it's not going to have anything in there until those months come along. And then it also gives you access on this page to be able to get to the Facebook group as well. So you've got access to all these different things that'll actually take you there. And so it'll take you to the dashboard. And so then when you get into the dashboard, is that it'll actually show you and give you all the different links so that you can actually get to all the different pages. Again, that I'm going to show you individually, but it takes you to all the different pages so that you have different ways of being able to access those kinds of things. And so, and my husband just came home and his volume is on, so hopefully he's going to turn that down. And then again, we talked about the seasonal divinity box, and we'll go through more of that stuff again. And so I really keep coming back to that, become an expert, because you are the one that gets to be an expert in your own life. You are the one that gets to share and all that information that you share. So we're going to give you the tools, but you get to actually participate in what works for you, what doesn't work for you, how does that work. And so and this here is still under development, so it's actually going to change. And here you can have access to like the different parts of things. But here is the Soulful Life Hacks Success Path. So we actually start with our foundation and we end with our success. So when we end with our success, we're actually going to be empowered. And so, but we actually, in the foundation, we actually get to talk about recognizing the challenges and feeling that feeling alone and feeling powerless. And there may be some other things that we will end up adding in here, but right now those are the ones that I have. And our success is really about being empowered, where we are able to take things to the different levels. And then we've got these other 4 bubbles that are not necessarily attached to the success path, and they're not attached to the success path because they're interchangeable. So sometimes you may be working on that discovery part, you may be focusing on that mastery part, you may be focusing on that connection part or the intention. So it all kind of depends on where we're at with some of the things that we're actually working through. So you may not necessarily stay, so you're not going to stay in one particular thing part, and you're not actually, it's not linear. So even though we are working on one particular area, you may be in a different part of the success path than somebody else might be. So that is our success path. And so we've got our morning meditation ritual. So this here is something that you can incorporate, or you don't have to, entirely up to you, but it's about being able to talk and share about, so I actually share some different information about a morning meditation ritual. And then we have the opportunity to be able to share them with others. And on each one of the pages, there are some different quotes. And so here I give you some ideas of some morning meditation rituals that you can actually do. And the reason why I decided that I was actually going to put that in there is that oftentimes people talk about, well, I can't meditate. It's difficult for me to be able to do that. And so this here allows you to have some different aspects. And so in this section here, up here where it says positive quotes, because positive quotes is in the bottom, this section here is going to have like little bubbles for you to be able to kind of, so on each one of these other pages that I'm going to be showing you is going to have one section here where it's going to have like all these little bubble heads where you can actually click on to go to whatever area, just to make it simple. The next one is our daily messages. So every day you're going to receive a message. And so it may be a quote, it may just be something, a daily message, it could be just something that is shared. So it's going to kind of change. It's never going to be necessarily the same thing. And so this is one of the things that you're going to have access to. So again, you don't have to have access to it, but it's going to be there for you to be able to use if you choose to. And so they're going to be added in here as they go along. And so obviously it's going to be much longer than 4 little dots. And so it's just going to continue on in here. And so again, there are daily quote or positive quotes on each one of these pages. And so then we have the monthly life hacks. And so this here is the parts of, so like this is the main component, this is part of the main component. And so every month there's going to be something that is going to be shared. So what I've got for representing this one is the bonsai tree. And the reason why I chose it is because it symbolizes the harmony and the peace, and has an order of thoughts, and then it helps you balance. And that, so you've got in order, so if you're actually trimming or dealing with a bonsai tree, then you're actually growing the different pieces so that it actually has like this shape and all these really cool things. And so you get to shape your life. You get to shape the way that you want things to be. So then, so that just kind of goes on and shares a little bit about, and so then again, the videos will be available to here. And so each month is going to have, so in this particular case for the summer, like for this one, you're going to have 4 videos because you're going to, or 3 videos because you're going to have one each month. And so it'll be and for June, for example, we're going to be dealing with identifying who you are from an astrological perspective. So under the under your sun sign, and then we're going to be talking and focusing on your moon sign and how that affects you and how that represents. And so one of the ways that I actually explain the sun and the moon is that your sun sign is the sun sign gives you that is what other people see, and so like people know that I'm an Aries, I'm a doer, they see me doing that part. They don't necessarily see the Aquarius side of me, which is my moon sign. So like we're actually going to talk about the inside and the outside. So it's the moon is the inner part, the sun is the outer part. And so that's how I differentiate. And then the third component in this particular one is going to be with our guest of and sharing about the human design. And so, and how that aspect connects. And so I've got the affirmation page, which obviously is not completed. And so that's one of the other things. And so there's going, because I wasn't sure yet, and this is the part that I still have to sort out, is the affirmations. And I wasn't sure if I was going to create a page because, and I may still not create a page, I haven't decided, but the affirmations are actually going to be, so if you actually have an Alexa app, then you'll have access to the affirmations through the Alexa. So I'm not sure if I'm going to put them on the website or if you'll only have access that way. So I haven't decided yet. So that's the, but I've created the page just in case. So that way it's there. And then we have the Soulful Life Hacks is the Facebook group. And so for anybody who I'm in Facebook on more than I'm on any other platform. So there's going to be a lot of information that's going to be duplicated, shared, that we normally have access to in on the website, but we'll also have access to a lot of stuff, but we'll also have access to each other in this group. So this will be where we can actually share a lot of details. This is a private group, nobody else can get in, and it's only members that have access to this information. And so that's our private group. And then we have access to weekly meditations. So there are meditations all over the place. And so, but one of the things that I'm going to be doing is sharing some different meditations that I have already done, or that I will be doing specific to this information. Then that's one of the things. And so I actually just saw Jakota's message. So if you sign up between June 8th and the 15th, it's 15% off. No, if you sign up between June 8th to the 10th, it's 50% off. From the 10th to the 15th, then it's the regular price. Hey, Chuck. But it's only the sale is only on, or the special offer is only on for the next 2 days. And then after that, it goes to regular price from the so the 11th to the 14th. And then you've got your weekly group coaching. So this one here is, so we will all connect to Zoom. And I just realized that this page isn't changed. So this is about the trees. So I'm obviously going to have to change that info. So this is one of the reasons why I'm going through this, so that it helps me to know what areas that I still need to finish up as well. But I wanted to be able to still share the pages. And so this is where I was actually talking about the connection with the trees and being able to connect with each other. We provide security for each other. We also provide light for each other, and we also provide shade for each other. So it actually allows us to be able to support each other that way. So, and so each one of the coaching sessions are done through Zoom. They're recorded, so you'll have access to them on this page. So like when, so even though it's talking about the bonsai tree, so you'll actually have all that information in here as well. So again, you're going to have access to all of these weekly sessions are going to be there for you to be able to go back and watch, and or if you weren't able to catch the replay. So, and then the next one is I already did the monthly life hacks. So apparently I did that one twice. And so the monthly life hacks, like I said, are going to be once a month. So you're going to have access to them monthly. And then the other part of it is something that we had already shared on the Divine Crystal Healing Shop. And that's the Seasonal Divinity Box. So if you are a member, then you get the Divinity Box. I pay Brooke for the Divinity Box. And so that happens seasonally as well. And so this talks about all the different information about the Divinity Box. It talks about what it is that you get. It talks about your self-discovery journey. And so, although the Divinity Boxes are a separate program to what it is that we're doing, it still gives you that that offer. It still gives you, we're still going to be using some of the things that you actually get out of there. We may end up using all the things out of there. It all kind of depends on where the group is kind of transforming, but you will have access to all that information. So the theme for this one, for this particular box, is about cleansing. And so we're actually connecting and cleansing and clearing and kind of moving forward with the heat of the sun, with the heat of the summer, and kind of moving things forward. So that's what it is that we're doing. But this is at no cost to you. The cost of this box is $79.95. And so, and you get that quarterly as well. So every time that we reopen, we get a new season, we get a new box. And so as you continue to go on, you always get a new box of being able to sign up. So if you sign up with the 50% discount, for example, it's $88.50, and this is $79.95 on the 1 month. So it's $88.50 per month. But so one of the months is that technically you're getting a huge discount. So like in this first month, for example, if you're paying $88.50, you're paying that difference. You're technically only paying that small difference because you'll have access to the Divinity Box as well in terms of value. So that's what it is that I wanted to be able to share. And like I said, I'm super excited about this because this has been something that we have been working on, that I have been working on, and have been wanting to be able to share. And so it is, so it's great. Like I'm really enjoying that part of it. I'm really enjoying that that connection. And so it is, so it's just, if it's something that you are interested in, if it's something that you want to be able to do to work through and have that connection and work with other people, this is a place to be. And so we will, like I said, we'll be working through different aspects of things. So even though when we're working on a life hack, for example, if we're working on a life hack and we have some other things that are going on in our life, it doesn't mean that, oh, okay, well, we're only working on our sun sign, so I can't talk about relationships. Well, yeah, of course we can, because that's still part of our personality. I can't talk about a problem that I'm having with my mental health. Yes, we can. We can still work through those different aspects of things. So the life hacks are just there to be able to help us gain a better understanding of who we are. But when we're doing the coaching sessions, the sessions will allow us to be able to work through the different aspects of ourselves so that we can actually work through this, the pieces, parts of things. And like I said, so we've got our 5 lifetime members that are already there and ready to welcome you guys into our circle. And our first our first day is going to be June 20th, which is with the summer solstice. And so we're all going to gather online at 10 a.m. Eastern, where we're going to celebrate the summer solstice. And then we have our weekly meeting dates are at a different time. But that is our opening. That is where we get to full on get started and kind of get moving with things. And during that day or the next day will be the release of the first life hack. So you'll actually have access to being able to listen and watch that. And so the life hacks are always pre-recorded and uploaded so that whether you have access to them. And so it is not part of so it's not part of anything else. This is only done online. So if I have something that's going on at the Wellness Center, for example, then it's not going to be available. Like, so it's not that you can actually join this one. Whereas like with the other, the Wellness Center membership, that's different. And so the Wellness Center membership allows you to be able to do online and offline. And I have some people that are doing both. So some people that are going to, because the content and the information is different in both, for both aspects of things. So it's, so if you're doing one, doesn't mean that you can't do the other, but it also doesn't mean that you have to do both either. So it's just so that you are aware of that as well. So the Wellness Center for anybody that's local is physical, is mostly physical stuff. Right now, everything is virtual because of the situation that we're in right now, but this is what it is that's happening. So, so if you have any other questions, please put the questions out there, and I will definitely be more than happy to answer questions. I'm going to come back on Wednesday so that I can answer anybody else's questions before the special offer goes away. So I'm going to come back on Wednesday to be able to answer questions. So if anybody has any questions, so I'm going to post another video that will allow people to put questions out. But if you are wanting to join, then definitely want to do that before Wednesday. And if you want to be able to have that 50% discount, and because it won't ever be offered again. So like that discount is only because I'm just launching it and starting it. And then when we open up again in September, if you wanted to wait till September, you're welcome to do that. But that means that you also don't have access to that, the special offer. But we would definitely want you to join us for the summer. And so even if you're not able to catch the live, you always have access to the replay. So then you have access to being able to do that as you go along. And so, but like I said, if you have any other questions, I will jump back on Monday. On Wednesday. Today's Monday. I will jump back on Wednesday to be able to answer any questions. But you can message me privately as well. And so super excited. So I will talk to everybody soon, and thanks for joining, and please share. I would love this to be able to get out there so that people are aware of it, and because I'm super pumped and I'm super excited about this particular program, because it really is about being able to dive in deep as to who it is that we are, because most of us have been working on ourselves for a long time. And so there's a really cool quote that that was shared with me, and I will have a good rest of my afternoon. Thanks, Dakota. So this quote is: people often say that motivation doesn't last, that doesn't last, period. Well, neither does bathing. That's why we recommend it daily. So I just thought that was like really cool. I thought that was a really cool, cool quote. And I thought that it was even more cool that it was today that it was actually being shared. So thanks for joining me, whether now or on the replay. And if you guys have any other questions, then please let me know, and we'll go from there. Talk soon. Bye for now.